Now, today is the most important part of this course because it sets a foundation. Some of you were to the devotional a year ago when I previously shared this formula on campus a little bit, and a lot of you have been there and gone and done and heard it, but this will be a review. A little bit of this will be a review for you. But I want you to get it. This formula changed my life. Everything I have in my life really that has been really earth-shattering since I received it has been because I listened to this and recorded it and thought about it and pondered about it and made it my life's goal and ambition to use it. It has effectively been my key to success, and I want you to know it works as much today as it worked for me in 1964 when I got the first half of this. It'll work today. I promise you that. I promise you this formula will work for you. It is real stuff. I'm going to give it to you in two parts, a worldly part of the formula and then a spiritual part of the formula, and then we're going to combine them into one, and then I'm going to tell you a story, and that's the lesson today, okay? But we're going to begin with the lesson from J. Paul Getty. J. Paul Getty, there's only 2 or 3 of you in the room would even remember his name at all, but J. Paul Getty was an oil tycoon out of Texas who made a lot of money in the oil business, okay? He's in the oil business. And he made a lot of money. If you make a lot of money in the oil business, you get a chance to write your memoirs, and people they'll pay for his book. Nobody pays for mine, but they pay for his, okay? Because he made a lot of money in the oil business, okay? Got it? And then, so in his book, he gave his secret to success. And there's a 3-fold simple formula. Number 1, he said, get up early. Get up early. Now, I just want you to know how true that principle is. It's still the key to your success. I fear for you, don't give this away by looking mad, you don't give it away. You missionaries, most of you in this room are return missionaries or hold hands with one, and you're else you're going to get ready to go on a mission and hold hands with another one, okay? But I promise you, why in the world, please don't do it while you're on your mission, though. Okay? That's a good point, okay? I did say that, kind of mucked that up, didn't I? Okay. Actually, in Africa, let me just tell you, any real honest-to-goodness blood of Israel Africans in here? In Africa, as the MTC president in Ghana, in Africa, boys and girls don't usually hold hands with each other, boyfriend, girlfriend. But boyfriends and boyfriends do, and girlfriends do. It's just part of the culture. It's just part of the culture. So you can imagine what happened when we'd have every time we had an intake of missionaries, we'd always have 3 or 4 Caucasian Europeans or Americans that would come to the MTC, and 90% were black Africans from Ghana and Nigeria and all over Africa. They would come in. And then the first hour they're there, we'd have a meeting. We'd assign them companions and tell them what's going on and welcome to become like unto Moroni, and they fit the theme for the 3 weeks and a whole bit. And then as they'd be assigned, then as they'd finish the meeting, of course their African friends are anxious to mate up to their new companion, and they'd walk up and grab hold of their hand, not to shake it, but to walk to the room with you. Take your bags and go to the room with my new companion, Come on, let me have your other hand. This one? And you can just see that white Caucasian missionary he's just, I'm going to go upstairs to my room with my friend, And so very quickly we had to explain to our African blood of Israel missionaries that I'm afraid that won't work here. You better get rid of that habit because it's not culturally acceptable here. So how did I get off on that?
They left.
They left. Get up early. Get up early. That's what it is. Get up early means that my point is, how in the world could you spend 2 years of your life, 2 years of your life learning the disciplines of a mission, and then come home and half of you throw it away? And you'll come in, and if you do that, and if I get on your case about it or do it in church or something, you'll come and tell me, President, I'm a night person. I'm just a night person. I do a lot better if I stay up at night and work and then get up late tomorrow. Guess what? You don't have any credibility with that. You know why? Because I've read the Doctrine and Covenants. I've read the good books. And the good books and the manuals of life say go to bed early and get up early. So I got the Savior on my side on this story. You can't win, okay? There's no way to win. There's no way to try to convince me that you've physiologically been changed over into a night person, okay? Because you came from the Lord as a morning person. And those people in my life I know who are people who win in life are get up early people. I just want you to buy that. Buy that as a true principle. If you have fallen away from that, then you need to repent. Okay? Number two is like unto it. Get up early. 2 is to work hard. These are really tough formulas, by the way. These are long, strenuous, tough formulas. Work hard. Again, unless there's 1 or 2 in here who are going to inherit it, the rest of us have had to raise chickens or do something to earn it in life. And those who learn how to do that have done it the Lord's way. We've got sweat of our brow, we've learned to go to work, and we get up early and we work hard. That's the Lord's way to do it. Okay? Number 3, and I think this is hilarious. So if you don't laugh, it's some wild, ferocious laugh, I'll be disappointed, okay? Get up early, work hard, find oil. Find oil. Isn't that funny? That's an oil man telling you if you want to be a billionaire, find oil. Now, what kind of idiotic formula is that? I mean, I thought it was really funny when I read it because that's what it was meant to be, of course. He said, you know, that's all I did was find a bunch of barrels of oil, about 40 billion of them, and made myself billions of dollars in life by becoming the oil man of Texas, okay? So get up early, work hard, and find oil. But then after a while, after I'd used that to try to introduce some humor into your dull lives, then I found out, I thought about it for a minute, and you know what? That's still a true statement.
You'll still be billionaire if you find oil. Sorry. You got me.
Are you registered in the class? Find oil. There's more kinds of oil than just the gooey type. That's what I'm really saying to you. Everybody must find their oil. It won't necessarily be the kind that comes out of the ground. It will be something that you do that has economic value, a service, a product, something that you do for others that you can have the people beat the door down to get to you to buy the service or the product. Okay? And those who really do understand that realize that what he said is really true. If you'll go back to getting up early before your competitor does and outwork your competitor and then find something that you're good at. That's why you're here. Now come on in and get a seat. That's why you're here. You're here on campus this year because you're going to be here for 1 to 4 years to find your oil. Find something that you can do by going to your classes and you identify a skill set, whether it be computer or art, I care not. But you better have an economic reason you're doing it because that's what you got to make your living with. That's going to be your oil. And if you can't identify an oil something that's going to be something you can multiply with and make money with and survive with and raise your family with and do better than anybody else in the world with, theoretically, at least think you can, then you better keep going to new classes to try to find out what it is. But without it, you're going to be an also-ran and a second-rate person hating life. And guess what? I say that to you not to put you down, because everybody in this room has a talent or a gift that you can do probably better than anybody else in the room. Some of you don't know what that is yet, but I promise you, you have a skill or a talent set that you could be really good at and make a real mark in life at. You just got to discover it. You got to find your oil. Okay? That's number 1. That's J. Paul Getty's. Then thank goodness I went on a mission. And on that mission I ran into a man named David B. Haight. Most of you know his name. Any non-members in the room? Are we all members? Okay. David B. Haight, as you know, was one of the Quorum of the 12 members, just died a couple of 3 years ago. He was my mission president, had a dramatic impact on my life. We were lifelong friends. He just was my mentor for life. You just can't know you got to know the value of your mission president and other people like him or her who become your friends and mentors who change your behavior. Well, David Haight did that for me. 1 week before I left on my mission, left to come home from my mission, we had a riverboat cruise down the River Clyde in Glasgow, Scotland. And on that cruise, we took all the members and all the missionaries, and we're just a week away from going home. And David Haight kind of comes up along the side of the rail where I'm standing, looking out to the side of the rail, and he stands by me, and he gives me this formula. And he probably gave it to everybody. I don't know that this certainly wasn't unique to me, and it's not an earth-shattering words, but they were to me. Number one, he said, when you go home, Jim, this next week, when you go home, he says, get your education. Get all the training you can get. Number two, he said, make your mark. What do you mean by that? Make your mark? Anybody? Anybody tell me what you think that means?
Reach your goals.
Okay, reach your goals. That's a good start.
Be the best at it.
Be the best at it. Good point.
Well, I think it means dig deep, Don't be afraid to stand up and state your claim.
Good.
Know your positions.
Okay, good.
Set your goals.
Okay, let me just simplify a summary of all this. Comment?
Basically, like, do well enough at what you do that you're remembered. And, like,
Make a difference.
yeah, make a difference.
Make a difference in the world. Find something. Now, are we back to the oil again? Remember, find your oil. Find something in your life that you can do that you can make a difference in the world with. If it's going to be selling moped rentals, be the best moped rental in the island. Okay, whatever it is, be the best at it. Be good at it. Make a mark. Make a difference. Because then he gave us the final key, and the one that really I want to emphasize is the real key for you, because you're all Latter-day Saints. You're all return missionaries, future return missionaries, married to one, okay? This is the principle that makes the whole difference. He says, after you've gotten your education, made your mark in life, he says, then get prepared to be used. In other words, get prepared to be of service. Get prepared to build the kingdom. You're not going to get successful in life materially, temporally. If you do it for the wrong reason, it will destroy you. It will ruin your life. But if you are geared towards making your mark in life and being successful so you can give back, then and only then will your material wealth and your temporal success be of any long-term benefit to you. Because you can't take it with you, can you? You're going to take your relationships, you're going to take what you know, you're going to take the good things you've done in life, but you can't take your material. So why are you getting it? You're getting it so that you can, number one, raise your family successfully, and you can find time to serve in the church and build the kingdom. That's really what you're trying to do. And the Lamonites of life, unfortunately, but the reality of life is the king Lamonites of life make a great amount of difference when you go to try to save a community. If you are the Lamoni, if you've made your mark, if you're successful, if you got, and I'm not talking about being rich. We'll have a whole session on great richest man in Babylon later in the semester. We'll talk about how to budget and how to become financially independent. I'm never going to tell you to go out and get rich, because it doesn't mean beans. But becoming self-reliant means a whole lot. Because until you can operate out of your own checkbook, out of your own lifestyle, when you can run your own life financially, then you may someday have a chance to run a world of your own. But if you can't manage your own little world, if you can't become self-reliant, then you probably will have a limited chance to run another world some other day. Okay if that, anybody mad yet? You should be mad by now, somebody. Nobody mad? Good. Okay, good. Okay. You got it? Let's put it together now. Let's put those two formulas together into one so you can, this is what I want on your, this is the final exam in life. Okay, starts off the same. Where is it? What's number 1 out of 6? Get up early. 2 is the same. Work hard. 3, think a minute before you blurt it out. Get your education. Get all the training you can get. Get up early, work hard, get yourself trained. Number 3, get your education. So that you can, number 4, find your oil. Find what you're going to make your mark with. 4 is to find your oil. Find your strengths. Identify those areas of life that you're good at and could be good at so that you can, number 5, make your mark in life. You can make a difference in the world so that, number 6, you can finally do what you were foreordained to do, to come to this earth and to help prepare it for the Savior to return. Build the kingdom. Be prepared. Get up early, work hard, get your education, find your oil so you can make your mark, so you can be useful. You can become a servant. You can build the kingdom. Got it? That really is a formula that works. I promise you it works. That's the formula. Any questions on it? I want you to, if you see me on my bike whistling anywhere along campus, I want you to just kind of blurt out, say, get up early, work hard, find it, whatever, okay? Try to do it while I'm passing on the bike, while I'm going through I Dream of a White Christmas. You can give me all 6 steps, okay? You got it? You okay? Please know that formula, because I now want to tell you a story of how it had an impact on a life. I want to tell you a very personal story. I shared this with a lot of you, and I want to share it, and I hope it comes across the way I mean it to come across, because I think it's an important story to tell. And there's a lot of dates up here. I just want to use this as my visual aid. I was born in a little small town as a chicken farmer's son, okay? We raised chickens. We had a little feed mill and a little paper route. And then a year later, after I was a year old, when I got on that chicken farm and as a year old and starting to learn how to walk, I contracted polio. Choke up just thinking about it. Okay. Anyways, and so get all the mourning over first so you know it's done. So I messed up several months of my life. I couldn't do any walking or anything else around, and had the rest of my life I've been in casts and all kinds of things. But it was kind of a tough time for me. I really did. I had to go to work every day, everywhere, everything, and I had to pack around a cast or a bad leg or whatever it was, and it caused me some concern. Because I was destined to be a great basketball star and a football player, and I played with Dallas for a few years, and then with the Lakers a couple. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, I was destined to be that Whippy. I was supposed to be a great basketball star, but I couldn't because I had this bad leg. Next year I learned to talk. I'm 2 years old. I start to learn to talk when you're 2 years old, okay? And when I started to learn to talk, I found out I stuttered. I stuttered quite badly. And so I grew up and then thinking, here's a guy that he can't communicate because he stutters, can't run and walk very fast because he limps, and he's got a bad wheel. And the only good thing I ever wrote in school one day, it helped me write a limerick once when I was in high school. You ever written any limericks? You know what a limerick is? I'm not an English major by any means, but I know what a limerick is. Shall I give you my best limerick? This is my limerick. I got an A for this. There once was a boy named Jim who was full of vigor and vim. He limped when he walked, stuttered when he talked. That little boy named Jim. I did that on my own. That's my own limerick, okay? I wrote that. Anyway, that's been my limerick in life, and that was me. And I kind of grew up having this complex a little bit. I was just kind of always fearful that I'd have, number one, be called on to speak in church or called on to speak in class. The girls would make fun of me some way. I just always fearful that would take place. I remember one time when I was just a little boy and I wanted to get a ride home, and in those days you didn't have cell phones. You had telephones you had to call up and the operator say, number please. And if she said that, then you'd tell her the number, and then you'd tell her that, and then she'd plug you into the house number at home, and your mother would come and give you a ride home. Well, I wanted to get a ride home. The snow was 40 feet deep, and it's 40 miles away from the house, and I wanted to get a ride home. And so I picked up the telephone wherever it was, and the operator says, "Number, please." All I had to say was 190. That's my mother's number, 190. Anybody could do that. Well, I couldn't get the one out. I was going, Finally, after a couple of minutes of playing on that, the operator finally said, "Sonny, quit playing on the phone," and hung up on me. And I had to walk home both ways uphill, 40-foot snow drifts, and that's why I limp today, is that walking in the snow. But I must move on, okay? Anyway, it was tough. I remember the first time I was asked to bless the sacrament. I'm a priest now and 16 years of age, getting ready. I always wanted to go on a mission, but I'm now getting 16, a little bit older, and in the middle of this whole world of crisis, and I get down to bless the sacrament for the first time in my life, and I got to the word partake. You know, you don't have a hard time changing the sacrament prayers. You know, they just don't frown. They frown on that. The bishops always get up and come over and tap you on the shoulder when you say them wrong. And I could not say partake.